What a big difference it makes to the room. I just put up the curtains, even though I forgot to get lined ones. I think this is nicer than having a sheet and some wooden sticks across my door. I like it. Hello and welcome to this video, and also Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025. It's a brand new year, brand new resolutions, shiny new things on the horizon, and shiny new things on my hand. You may have noticed that I wore something similar in the previous video. This is today's sponsor, but I'll get more into them a little bit later. We didn't get a white Christmas this year, but it was close. We had some frost either side of Christmas though. And yeah, we've had some pretty frosty days since Christmas, with temperatures definitely dropping. But we had a relatively mild Christmas day. However, it's starting to be a little bit gloomy, although the sun came out to play a little bit now. But we've got some rain on the horizon again, I believe, for the next week. And usually when there's rains on the cards, I usually have to run around and get all the outside things done as much as I can to prepare for the rains, so that I can stay cozy and warm inside my little house. 2024 was all about comfortability for me, turning this rustic structure into a comfortable home for myself and my fur kids. I feel like I've done some major steps into reaching that. So my goal for 2025 is going to be all about functionality. Trying to get to those things that I haven't gotten around to doing, like for example, the septic system, redoing that again, and things like that, other structures around the outside, now that I feel that the inside has come 80% to where I would love it to be, and definitely so much more comfortable. Over the last 2 or 3 weeks during my Christmas break, I have done so much around the space and got to all those little things that I don't usually have the time for. It was so nice to actually just get down and just focus on the DIY stuff, rather than split that time between... Tux interrupted me. Hey boy. It was so nice to actually just focus on all the DIY stuff, rather than split my time between my work and DIY on the weekends, like weekend DIY. Next week I go back to work and so then time for DIY starts to slim down again. But I got so much done that I will share with you in this video and the following video. And it's been really exciting to do that. Actually, it like really sparked my inspiration again, and it got me in the mood to do even more DIY. Like, my little ADHD brain usually just looks at things around the structure and I'm like, oh, I need to do this and I want to do this, and I never get around to it. So it was really cool to do some of the little things that I've been thinking about doing but have never really had the time to do, which is nice. So in this week's video, I share with you the little things that I needed to get around to doing, that needed doing. I do some concrete work, and also I find a solution to the gap in the kitchen counter, between the kitchen counter and the wall, that I think actually works quite nicely. Let's get right at it.
Is Girl Meets Farm.
This video is sponsored by the Ultrahuman Ring Air. When the team from Ultrahuman reached out, I absolutely jumped at the opportunity to get my hands on the Ring Air. I love biohacks and fitness apps that I can really nerd out about actionable data, and the Ring Air provides just that. The Ring Air is a smart wearable that tracks sleep, heart rate variability, movement, and temperature. What makes it unique to similar trackers is that, firstly, it is a ring and it really feels light as air. Secondly, it packs a powerful punch in terms of data tracking. More insightful sleep health, heart rate, skin temperature, recovery insights with tailor-made insights to help you put the data to use and improve things, not just look at fancy graphs. The whole buying experience sets you up for success. When you purchase the Ring Air, it triggers the first step in the process, and they will send you a sizing kit that also comes with a color palette. This is to ensure that you buy the correct fit and color. Once you have chosen these, you input your choice in your purchase process, and your final product will be shipped within 24 hours of input. You are notified and kept in the loop the entire duration of the process. After sales is also amazing, and you will receive guidance on setup, care instructions, and fitness inspiration to help you succeed on your journey. January is the month of fresh starts, with people around the world diving headfirst into their fitness journeys. It's the perfect time to start building sustainable habits. Get your Ring Air with my 10% discount code and start optimizing your health today. It's time to oil the counters to protect them. And as with everything online, there is huge debate about the product that you should put on your butcher block. I chose between, I wanted something organic and natural to put on my butcher block. So I was looking between linseed oil and tongue oil. I eventually chose to go with tongue oil. This is not sponsored. I eventually chose to go with tongue oil because they have a marginally better rating for specifically kitchen products. They're better for food safety apparently, and also they last apparently better. It lasts apparently better year on year in kitchens. So I'm going to give this a try. So it took a while for the dilutant to get here because I've chosen to use natural tongue oil, which is apparently more food grade and better for kitchen use than some other oils. And of course I don't want to use a chemical solvent with it, because what's the point of using something food safe when you're going to be using a chemical solvent on the counter? So it took me a while to find a place that would ship to Portugal in the orange solvent, which is actually organic and biodegradable, and is very good to use with tongue oil because it is a natural solvent to use in kitchens. So for the first coat, and I don't know if you can notice actually because it is a little bit dark in here, but I think this butcher block has already changed coloring because of the humidity that's in here. So I need to get this sealant on. will tell you, this stuff smells pretty good. In fact, as I was diluting it outside with the orange peel solvent, there were actually some bees that came around. It really smells like orange blossoms. Clock might be faster. Ooh. Oh, this stuff smells so good. I really probably shouldn't be sniffing it, but you know. Less flammable or combustible, spontaneously combustible than linseed, these little rags that I'm using. But they can still apparently spontaneously combust, so an hour has passed and I'm about to wipe off any excess, although this wood was so dry it doesn't really look like there's any excess, but we're going to do it anyway because that's the instructions. I've decided to tackle this project because I desperately need a way to keep the cats out of the house. So I've just been spending the last, I don't know how many hours, basically the whole morning, putting this aluminium frame together that's got a mesh, and then I'm about to tie that together. It came with this mesh, but I actually bought like a steel type, or I don't know what kind of type mesh that is meant to be scratch resistant, because if I put any kind of normal mesh on there, it's going to go the way the fly nets went on the other door, and they're just going to climb up it, scratch right through it. So I think we're just going to go for the hardcore thing right from the bat. I haven't filmed the whole thing of putting this together because this can go right up there with the most frustrating projects I've done. But I'm going to try and put this together, and then I still have to try and put it on the actual door frame. So wish me luck. I'll be back if I can figure it out. You can tell I watched a lot of MacGyver as a child because I make a lot of MacGyver constructions. I needed a way to keep the cats out of the house when I want to have the door open. So I found this mesh screen, and it will be too full to keep flies out and hopefully cats out. The problem is my logic clearly failed me on the day that I took the measurements, and or the instructions were just not very clear, because it showed to measure the inside of the door frame, which I did. But I actually measured from here, because this is lower than the frame, to the ground, and I'm still out by like 2 centimeters. So I can't take it all apart again. This literally took me a day to put together. It was awful. So in order for me not to throw it away, I've had to MacGyver something together that will again be a temporary fix, but hopefully will work for the short term, because the cats are driving me insane. They just keep going in the house. They make an absolute mess in there, because they're also not house trained. They do spray inside, and cat feet go absolutely everywhere. There's paw prints in here, and the dogs don't chase them out, because if the dogs are outside and the cats are inside, the dogs just don't go back inside. So I thought it would be easier to do this and train the dogs to open the door from the outside than it is to keep the cats out the house. So yeah, I've taken off my fly curtain for now, put this on, and I'm still wiggle wangling to try and see how I can put this on so it doesn't have a gap here. And the way that I've managed to do that, or that I think will work, is to attach pieces of wood here. I will have like a magnetic strip at the top there, because even if I just have 2 magnetic strips here, that should be enough to keep the cats at bay, that they can't climb in anywhere. So this isn't fastened to the wall either. Well, none of this is fastened to the wall. It is all still temporary MacGyvered, but you know what? My fly curtain lasted so well up there. I'm hoping this door will also last. But it is definitely not a long-term solution. I just need something to keep the cats out. So let me see if I can actually make this work. Let's go. Yes, good boy. Well done. You're gonna have to get your brother to open it for you, my girl. Rub it, toy. Catch it. Take it. Take it, boy. You did it now. Oh, careful, girl. Come, Shiva. Take it. Drop your hedgehog. Here. Come. Get it, boy. Pull it. Pull, pull, pull. Pull, boy. Pull, pull, pull. Come, boy. Come. Yes. You're a good boy. Yes, more. Pull it. Pull it. You got it. Yes, boy. Get it. Yes. Take it. Good boy. Good job. Alright, we're gonna work on that a little bit. Go. Good boy. You coming? Good girl. Just over 36 hours have passed. Between 36 and 48, I would say. Almost 2 days. And the first diluted curd has pulled in really, really beautifully into this wood. It is now touch dry and it feels nice. It is still a little bit oily, but not too much. I mean, nothing is really coming off my fingers. Yeah, it's actually pulled in quite beautifully, and the difference it's made to the wood is already quite substantial, but it looks like the wood still needs more. It feels like there is this beautiful depth to the wood now. It has really given it a warm glow. I feel like before it was kind of paler, like the floor, and now it's got this rich coloring. I've just done the dishes, so what I wanted to show you was that already it is during the droplet test. It is passing the drop test. But it was doing that without the oil as well. So although IKEA do recommend that you do oil the counters, of course. Now, I don't know if this is going to come off on camera, but there's parts of it where I can see it was really dry. This wood desperately needed oil. And you can see that parts of it still need another coat for sure. So definitely I'm going to do a second coat, would have done one regardless. And the second coat I'm going to be using undiluted. "48 hours have passed, more or less, since I've done the undiluted tongue oil application. And things are drying a lot slower this time around, but they certainly are drying. The sheen is the areas that are still drying, and the matte areas is where it has fully pulled into the wood. And when one looks over the wood, it looks totally fine. So I just have to wait for all the sheeny areas to dry. 48 hours later, it's definitely getting more absorbed. I would say everything around the sink is pretty much absorbed. Not 100%, but definitely getting there. This section, yeah, you can kind of see this on camera. This is what it looks like when it's absorbed, and this is still very, very oily. This is obviously the section that I didn't dry off as well as the rest of the sections. So this is going to just take a lot longer, I would assume. But it is starting to get there. It is what it is. And then here in the back, you can see the sides are getting there, but this whole middle section is still very oily. And can't really get this one on camera. But it's pretty much the same here. The outsides are dryish, and then the middle still is absorbing. I want to build a little base for the gas bottles out here. I measured the distance That would be from the bottom of the aircon to here, and that should be more than sufficient at about, at minimum, 1.4 meters, so 1,400 millimeters. And I think regulation asks for 1.5. Although here's the tricky thing. Portugal doesn't seem to particularly have many regulations for this that I could find. Even when I asked a local gas installation expert, they kind of didn't really know what I was talking about, which is a little bit concerning. But I feel like I've done enough research to feel safe if I do put it out here. But now the thing is, it has to run all the way around here and to this entrance here. This to there will be about 8 meters, and the tricky part of this whole thing is that this is a Camino road, meaning this is a public road. So I don't know if there's additional regulations. Again, I couldn't find any, unfortunately, so I am gonna just get a quotation from installers and see what they suggest. They have suggested running a copper line because it is outside, it is in the elements, and of course I don't want anyone fiddling with it. I feel like copper is a very good solution. There is also steel flexible pipe, which also seems a really good solution to me. And of course, this is a 60 centimeter width wall. The pipe has to run through there, and I don't want it to wear and tear through that hole in the wall, because there will be fractional movement. So it can't just be the rubber tubing. It needs to be something that will be very stable for the gas. Anyway, so this is 1, 2, 3. Let's call it 5 meters. I've asked them for 8 meters, but I'm not sure what they're going to be doing. But now I'm starting to second guess myself. Do I actually run the gas line outside, which I thought would be the safest? That's the way that we do things in South Africa as well. I then heard that butane doesn't love being outside in cold temperatures, which means that I may need to switch to propane. Butane is a much cleaner gas, so I would have preferred butane as opposed to propane. And I'll also just have to... Hello, Tux. You want to say hello? Hello, big boy. Yes, such a good kitty. And yeah, I don't know. I may need to see other limitations with regards to my stove. It can run on both butane and propane. But yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to second guess myself whether I should put it outside or if I should just keep running butane. Be nice. That's so nice. What a good kitty. No devil claws. That is lovely. Anyway, so without more distractions, I'm thinking about keeping the butane inside, but then where do I put it? Because I didn't factor that into my calculations of layout for the kitchen. So what I think I'm going to do anyway is I'm just going to build a foundation. I can't really go wrong, and then if I change my mind, I change my mind. Hello, little Tux. Such a good kitty. Oh, good kitty. Yes. It's the following day, and this is what I did. Just poured the foundation. I actually did manage to get it more or less straight, like parallel, I would say, and I actually did get them closer to being completely level, and of course the base completely level as well. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to be hiring me for any brickwork anytime soon, but you know, this will serve its purpose. Almost 10 days, and these guys are almost completely dry. This one is looking really good. Probably another day and he's good to go. This one, yeah, it still has some spots here. All the shiny bits is still where it needs to dry. And this one is looking a lot better. But we probably have like 2 days on these two to go. But yeah, 10 days so far. I love the coloring. I think the coloring looks so beautiful and rich. Once these are dry, then I can do the solution on the back. The glue worked really well. It fastened nice and tightly. I just added another piece for extra posterity, and I just stained it, and I'll let that dry now and cure for 24 hours. Luckily the stuff dries clear. I might not have all the right tools for this, but I think that should get the job done. The spacer is pushing everything forward. I wish I had the right clamps for this kind of work, but it is what it is, and I think within 24 hours this should stick really well. Pretty happy with how that turned out. Looks really good. Is it Christmas? Which one you want? Okay, there's one for Shiva. Shakti. Good girl. Get it, baby. What's in there? What is it, Shiva? Is it the Christmas teddy? What is this boy? I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time here, I appreciate it. If you think you might like my content, because there's lots on the card still for this year, please do like this video, share this video, please comment any thoughts as well, and do make sure that you still subscribe. YouTube likes to unsubscribe people from time to time from channels, so I'd appreciate it if you do check that you're still a subscriber. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. If you've been around here for a short or a long time, I appreciate you. Have a wonderful, wonderful 2025. I look forward to seeing what this year brings for all of us. See you next time. P.S. I almost forgot to say, thank you so much for all the tips about the spray foam and the gap in the ceiling. I really am going to take a lot of your feedback on board, and I think I need to fill it before using spray foam again because it's just too big. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate all the comments and feedback and tips and advice that I get from you.